Good afternoon. My name is Nicoletta and today I will talk about the value of well-defined requirements according to ISO. I would like to start the presentation with a quote that captures the essence of effective learning and engagement in our industry. Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn. This resonates deeply with the work we do in the IAC sector, particularly in information management and BIM. Next, I would like to introduce myself. I'm an architect, ISO 9650 specialist, and an educator dedicated to advancing information management in the AEC industry. As the founder of BIM Design Hub, I focus on delivering accredited training that drives business success through standardization in BIM. I also run the blog Break with an Architect, where I share insights about BIM and information management. With over 15 years of experience in architecture, project management, and training, I'm excited to share insights today that will help you drive your projects and businesses to success. Now let's discuss information waste. Information waste is one of the most common challenges in the AEC industry that has many forms. Redundant data, inconsistent or inaccurate information, poor collaboration and communication, obsolete or unused information, data overload, time and resources wasted, data security and privacy risks. ISO 9650 Part 2 is explicit about not generating information that exceeds the required level, extends beyond the scope of the requirement, duplicates information generated by others, and contains superfluous details. Well, what exactly this means? Here are some simple examples. If the required information for a specific element is limited to its dimensions and material specifications, do not provide additional details, such as excessive measurements or unnecessary documentation, because that would be considered exceeding the required level. If the required information during the planning phase is relative only to the design and layout of the building, do not include details about landscaping. Additionally, if the structural team generates detailed plans and specifications about load-bearing elements, then the electrical team should not duplicate the structural elements to add electrical information. If the plumbing team is responsible to provide documentation about the pipe layouts and connections, then provided detailed manufacturing specifications of the pipes, which could be considered superfluous details. Following, let's focus on defining information requirements. These requirements specify what information is needed, when it should be provided, how it should be formatted, and for whom it is intended. The what defines the purpose behind the information request. The how describes the content, form, and format of the information. For whom identifies the recipient, whether an individual, team, or an organization. When specifies the timing of the information delivery. In information management, perspectives vary and should be assessed on a case-by-case basis. According to ISO 9650, there are four key perspectives to consider. It's the owner's perspective, where the purpose is to define and maintain project or asset goals. Benefits include better decisions, cost, and time efficiency. Next is the user perspective. The purpose is to ensure the asset meets user needs. Benefits include enhanced efficiency and user satisfaction. Following is the project delivery asset management perspective. The purpose is to plan, organize, and manage resources. Benefits are improved collaboration and quality. Finally, there is the society's perspective. The purpose is to protect community interests over the asset life cycle. Benefits include sustainability, safety, and resilience. If we take a closer look at the project delivery phase on the left, clear information requirements can help the owner or the client align their objectives with the project and make better decisions. The lead appointed parties can effectively plan information management and reduce risks during the project delivery phase. The appointed parties can meet expectations and their deliverables. For the asset management stage, the owner or the client optimize operation and maintenance and makes informed decisions. The lead appointed parties can organize and execute maintenance tasks and control budgeting and maintenance costs. For the appointed parties, the potential benefits of clear information requirements are the optimized maintenance processes and compliance with regulations. The flow of information delivery begins when the information is generated from the information provider and then it is shared and received by the information receiver. The information providers and receivers could be individuals, teams, or organizations. An example of this is the following. The information receiver, for example the project manager, requests a site location plan for the purpose of statutory approvals and land registry. The information provider, in this case the architectural team, prepares the site location plan and delivers the information to the information receiver. ISO 9650 defines a set of principles for the information requirements. Information requirements should define how and when information should be exchanged in the project asset lifecycle. Information requirements should be prepared proportionally to the project site. The information deliverables should be reviewed against information requirements. Every time a lead appointed party is appointed, information requirements and information delivery plans are prepared. The information requirements share specific aspects of an asset, such as the asset register, support for compliance, and regulatory responsibilities, risk management, and support for business decisions. In ISO, there are 4 types of information requirements: the organizational, asset, project, and exchange information requirements. The organizational information requirements are related to the asset management, the objectives and outcomes. The stakeholders and regulators, the organizational policies and business operation tasks. These requirements contribute to the asset and project information requirements that are high-level business-related requirements. The exchange information requirements for the delivery and operation are the detailed requirements. An example of the development of the different types of information requirements is shown here. This example is adapted by the UK BIM Framework Guidance. The purpose is the statutory registration, land registry. There are no organizational or asset information requirements for statutory approvals. The organization has reviewed the project tasks related to the land registry application and established a related project information requirement. This is the site location and area information. Next, the organization has determined the exchange information requirement, the site location plan with boundaries marked, and the overall site area in square meter for information delivery milestone number 2. According to ISO 9650, the level of information need framework is used to define the quality, quantity, and granularity of information requirements. The level of information need is a European standard and is used to communicate efficiently the degree of the information that is required according to a specific purpose. According to the framework, the prerequisites are the purpose, the information delivery milestones, the actor, and the objects. The level of information need is defined by the geometrical, the alphanumerical information, and the documentation. Here we can see an example of the level of information need. For the same purpose, the geometry, information, and documentation can vary for different objects. The purpose here is the accessibility analysis. For this purpose, requirements such as the real opening width of a door, its location, and the handle shape are needed. Properties such as the manufacturer's name and the acquisition cost are not relevant to fulfill the purpose. Next, the information delivery milestones should be identified. They specify when the information is needed. The geometry, information, and documentation can vary for different objects at the same information delivery milestone. An example is shown here. To do the accessibility analysis, usually the same level of information need is required at different milestones. Next, the actors who will request and deliver information should be identified. The same level of information need can be required by different actors at the same milestone to fulfill other purposes, as shown in the example here. For the cost analysis, all parties require the same level of information need at milestone 2. Next, the objects with breakdown structure should be defined. The breakdown may include the federation strategy, systems engineering principles, and a classification system. The breakdown structure should also determine the project's functional or spatial decomposition into objects, for example, construction elements and spaces. Based on the purpose, the level of information need can be related to construction results and construction information. Finally, let's see what makes an information requirement good or bad. Bad requirements are unclear, inconsistent, incomplete, inaccurate, and contradictory. On the other hand, good requirements are clear, specific, consistent, achievable, and traceable. I encourage each of you to consider how these principles can be applied in your own work environments and how they affect your client relationships. The path to successful project outcomes is paved with precise requirements and clear expectations. Finally, I would like to provide some information about ISO 9650 training by BIM Design Hub. Today, I'm excited to announce that we're updating our courses with more flexible access options and introducing new certificates and digital badges, giving learners recognized credentials to showcase their skills and achievements. I would also like to invite you to visit my blog, where you can find a wealth of insights on ISO 9650, BIM, and information management. In our YouTube channel, you can also find a collection of videos explaining ISO 9650 key concepts. I want to thank you for your time and attention today. I hope you find the insights valuable and that you leave with some key insights to apply in your work. Thank you, and I look forward to connecting with you further.